Good morning, everybody. カイ先輩なんですけれども、これからね、英語で喋りましょう。ちょっと待ってね。リンクをシェアしましたよね。確認しますね。そうですか。こちらですね、リンクを、シェアするので、ちょっと待ってくださいね。そうですね、これから英語で喋りましょう。日本語じゃなくて英語ね。で、ちょっと俺、最近日本語を全然使ってなくて、日本語で失礼しますね。練習したいから。違うか。今ね、リンクをコピーしてるから、で、これからね、英語で喋りたいと思うんですけれども、ちょっと待ってね。でも、君と、英語で喋りたいな。はい。じゃあ、今ね、ズームリンクを、ちょっと待って。大丈夫ですか？なんか俺のチャットがなんか繋がらないって感じだから、ちょっと待ってね。チャットのあれが、そうですね。リンクが繋がらないとね、全く意味ないんですけれどもね。はい。だって、このライブストリームってもう、なんだろうね。君と喋りたいということですね。別に、なんだろうね。いつもなんか俺の3ステップ学習法とかさ、なんか、限度の4ギアの話するんですけれども、結局もうレッスンはいいんじゃないかなと思って、ね。もう普通に喋りましょうかって感じ違うか。ね。で、なんかその喋りながら、なんだろうね、何かレッスンがあればね、その時、その橋を渡りましょうか。違うか。はい。いつもね、最初の、なんだろうね、ストラグルって感じですね。ストラグルって日本語で何て言うんですかね。こういうリンクのこととかさ、この準備ね、この設備って感じ。もう、なんだろうねって感じ。めんどくさいよね。普通にもう、喋りたいって感じですね。俺ね、どっちかに言うとね、パソコンの使い方あんまりわかんなくて、ね。で、今、そうだね、結構なんかパソコンの準備っていうか、レッスンとかなんかいっぱい練習しましたよね。なんかライブストリームのやり方とかさ。で、一応なんとなく分かってるって感じですけれども、Hi there っていつさんが言ってくれましたよね。俺のリンクがシェアしてるよね。はい、よかったね。はい、じゃあ、まずこの Zoom リンクを、ペンしますね。大丈夫ですか？はい。じゃあ、そっちの方をクリックすると、なんか Zoom のルームに入るよね。で、Zoom ルームに入ると、カイ先輩と、英語で、喋れる。ね、会話できるよね。このルームになるですね。俺のグリーンスクリーン見えるよね。はい。でね、話す前に、じゃあ、俺の、スペースキャンプにいらっしゃいって感じですね。だって、これから、英語で喋りたいっていう気持ちがあればね、どうぞ、Zoom のあれ、クリックしてくださいって感じですね。でも、いつもね、なんだろうね、もう普通に英語で喋りましょうって誘っても、みんななんか、って感じになっちゃうんですね。なんか、みんな前で英語を話すかって感じで、そうですね。俺だって今、英語で喋ってないですね。喋ってないっていうか、全然、なんだろうね、日本語うまいか、うまくないか、そういうね、全然もう、とりあえず、話さないといけないっていうちょっと気持ちがあるから、もう生放送だから、俺が、一生懸命、日本語で頑張ってますね。はい、頑張ります。で、君は、英語で頑張りたいか努力してるかね。なんだろうね、レッスンとか動画とかビデオとかさ、なんかそっちに別に動力かかんないじゃない？もうクリックするだけで。レスニングっていう練習になるから、別に悪くないんだけどね、レスニングだけするとね。俺のあれなんですけれどもね、3ステップ学習法なんですけれども、3ステップっていうか、4ギアね、全部つながってるんですけれどもね。はい、まずそうなるとね、you gotta like、なんだっけ、listen って感じですね。 はい。こっちですね。まあ、それは動力あんまりかかんないんですけれども、まあ、これからって英語で話すことって、って感じですね。それちょっと動力かかりますね。だから、なんだろうって感じ。あの、今日まあ、目標を決めないといけないですね。まず、ね。英語で喋れるようになりたいっていう目標があれば、じゃあ、英語で喋りましょうっていう、ちょっと、って違うかって感じですね。いや、とりあえずなんか準備しないといけないですね。だから動画を聞くって感じですね。それから、まあ、教科書を読むって感じですね。でも、そうすると、なんだろうね、勉強になるかな。勉強っていうか、なんだろうね、それ、まあ、目標決まってないからね、みんな勉強すると思うんですけれども、俺、だって日本語を習った時、もう日本語を勉強したいっていう目標がなかったんだよね。結局、日本語で喋りたいっていう目標があったんだよね。はい、大丈夫だね。それで、まあ、ちょっと喋れるようになりたいんだけど、ちょっとなんだろうね、勉強しないといけないよね、みたいなところがあったんだよね、俺は。で、いや、勉強が、まあ、嫌いっていうか、つまんないよね。だから、どうしようみたいな、でも、みたいな、なんか混乱してたよね。なんか勉強したくないんだけど、みたいな。でもしょうがない。じゃあ、勉強しますって感じですね。それはまあ、留学した時よね。で、なんか、いつの間にか、なんか喋れるようになって、なんだろう、勉強しなきゃみたいな気持ちがもう消えたっていうか、なくなったんよね。だって、もうこれでいいんじゃないかなと思って、で、なんだろうね、喋りながら何かわかんないことがあればね、その時になんか、自称って感じ違うか。ね。だからまあ、その気持ちになってないか、ね、もういつでもどうぞみたいな、英語でも大丈夫ですよみたいな自信がなかったらね、って感じですね。もう2025年ですね。なんか、あれ、この間、昨日か、浜崎あゆみの動画をアップして、で、彼女でもね、なんか2025とか言ってたしね、なんかまあすごいなと思ったんだけどね、あれを聞いて。だって T の発音しないで、本当にもうアメリカ人って感じね、なまっとるやんって感じで、2025ってもう発音上手ですねと思って、でもじゃあ君はみたいなね、こういう細かいところ知らないのみたいなね、なんだろうね、俺の動画結構勉強になると思うんだけど、君はどうですかって感じですね。だからこういうライブストリームやりたいなと思うんでね。まあ、練習になるし、俺のね、日本語のね。でも、まあ結局、君の、勉強時間ですね。まあ勉強っていうか、ね、だってこれから普通に英語で喋りたいと思う。普通に。ね、別にレッスンっていう気持ちじゃなくて、評価じゃなくて、ただ、まあ、普通に喋りましょうかって感じですね。それで会話になってから、なんだろうね。会話するよ。普通に。できるだけ。でも何かなんかレッスンみたいなところがあればね、じゃあその時、じゃあレッスンしましょうかって感じですね。でも目標はもうレッスンみたいな感じじゃなくて、普通に英語で会話しましょうね。で、なんだろうね、なんかもし、なんて言えばわかんないみたいな瞬間があればね、じゃあ一緒に考えましょう。英語でなんて言うんですかねみたいなね。だって本当に100% 準備してなくても、ね、英語できるようになりたいっていう目標があって、もう今、ちょっと準備してないじゃんっていう気持ちがあっても、いや、ちょうどですね。準備してない後輩のためのライブストリームですね。大丈夫ですね。英語ペラペラの人と喋りたいと思うんだけどね。でも結局、なんだろうね。もし、英語喋れるようになりたいという目標があればね、もう、じゃあ、 自動的にじゃあ誰かと話すっていう目標ですね。勉強じゃなくて教科書じゃなくてレッスンじゃなくて動画じゃなくてもう誰かと会話しなきゃなっていう目標ありますよね。それでいろんな後輩と、話してなんだろうね、話す機会がなかなかないっていう後輩いますよね。で、それは確かにね、日本に住んでるから、外国人が行かないところもありますよね。はい、舞鶴に留学 しましたし、なんか本当にもう、俺だけですかみたいな。いや、もう一人の英語の先生がいたよね。でも、なんだろうね、着いた時、彼と正直に話したのね。もう俺の目標は日本語で喋りたいっていうね、日本語を勉強したいから、じゃあ、先生、I'm not gonna talk to you a lot, because I'm here in Japan, you know what I mean? で、分かってくれたって感じですね。はい。だから外国人がいない町に住んだことあります。で、東京とか大阪行けばね、もう九州はどうですかね。福岡、わかんないんだけど、なんだろうね、話す機会がなかったら、じゃあネットになるということですね。で、ネットでどこで誰と会話するかって感じですね。それも俺、わかんない。ね。ネットで勉強するかって感じですね。だって、日本語を習った時、ネットっていうところがなかったね。E メール、ポケベル時代だったんだけど、E メールみたいな、あったんだけど、舞鶴についてなかったよね。パソコンね。ホストファミリー、その時、パソコンがなかったよね。すごいな時代の違い。板野さん、大阪、外人いっぱいいますよね。はい。だから、話す機会がありますね。もし、大阪とか東京行けばね。で、欧米かみたいな、白人っていうかアメリカ人みたいな外国人もいるし、他のアジアの人もいますよね。韓国人とか中国人とか、マレーシアの人もいるしね。はい、本当にもういろんな人間がいますね。それで、何人ですかみたいな、もちろんだって日本語で話してもいいと思うんですけれども、それか、英語はどうですかって感じですね。英語で話してみたらって感じですね。街に、観光してるかどうかわからんけど、外国人に英語で喋りましょうって感じですね。それで、その声をかける勇気がなかったら困りますよね。なんだろうね。俺、だって逆に英語を話す準備とか練習別にしなくていいんじゃないって感じですね。俺、どこでもいても英語聞こえるから、もう勉強になる。ね。ネットでいろいろ YouTube とか見るとね、英語で見てるからね。なんだろうね。英語の世界に住んでるって感じだね。僕はね。日常的に、アメリカにいるからさ。でも日本でこういう英語の世界勝手に作れるかなって、それも面白いよね。動画になりそう。なんだろうね。君はね、ネットを使うとき英語にするって感じ。日本語のニュースとかもうほっといてね、英語のニュース見て、英語の動画とかさ、でどういう話を選ぶかって感じですね。だってもうなんだろうね、こう英語のネットがインターネットもう広すぎていろんな人がいるし、いろんなチャンネルとかいろんな 遊びとかさ、なんだろうね。で、みんな何意識してるかわかんないよね。俺、いろいろ見てるから、なんだろうね。なんか、社会の調子とかさ、なんか、一応わかるって感じがするけどね。君はどうだろうね。なんか何を見てるかわかんないし、日本語でいろんな、なんかニュースとか見てると思うんですけれども、何が必要ですかねって、ニュースって日本のニュースかアメリカのニュースか、まあ世界ニュースね。なんかみんな何の話を聞いてんの、何の話してんのって感じですね。ローカルすぎるって感じがなんか嫌だね。俺は。なんだろうね。なんかもうアメリカにいると、なんかローカルのニュース全然見ないのね。テレビとかあんまり見ないのね。でもインスタとか見るとね、なんだろうね、警察の話とかさ、なんかポリスチェイスとか出てくるのね。なんかまあ、さすがアメリカって感じだけど、そういう興味ないのね。見たくないのね。暴力的なね。俺の日常、そういうないからね。結構まあ、平和なところに住んでるからね。海の近くだからかな。でもなんかそういう、変なニュースとか暴力とか、なんだろうね、興味ないのね、全然。だから、なんだろうね、ローカルすぎるって、ちょっとどうだろうね。まあ、これ、地元の方だから、別に、なんだろうね。面白いっていうか、もう見ちゃったって感じね。俺、あちこち世界のいろんな国行ってるから、なんだろうね、次って感じがするんやけどね。これより、まあ次って感じですね。僕はね。だから世界旅まあ、知ってるって感じですね。なんか行ったり来たりっていうね。ちょっと、なんか人生のライフスタイルって感じ。でもまあ、次はどこですかって感じですね、君。なんか、大阪か東京か、英語の、なんだろうね、英語の、なんか、こう、英語になっちゃいそうですけども、英語のなんか、まあ、人生って感じですね。なんか、どうすんのって感じですね。俺、今、もう15分くらい日本語で喋ってるしね、いつ英語にするか。まあ、十分話したかな、俺。ね、こうやって日本語でね。英語で喋りたかったら、じゃあ英語にしましょう。So, guys, I know that that was a big long talk, and I just wanted to practice and warm up for everybody that's coming. But, I emailed a bunch of you guys, let you know that we're going to be doing this live stream. And like I said it all in Japanese. I'm just going to say it in English so you can hear it, so you can hear the thoughts, so you can think the thoughts. Because one of those things that you got to do if you do want to speak English, right, is that you got to actually speak English, right? And so if you don't know what to say, then you should take some sort of lesson or some sort of get some sort of guidance, you know what I mean? If you don't know what to say, but if you know what to say, then you just got to practice it, right? So I'm really sticking to my little system here that if you guys are going to listen, that's totally cool. And you're going to learn a few things by listening. Like you're going to hear my accent and you're going to hear intonation and stuff like that. And you're going to hear kind of I don't know, some sort of slang, I guess, or just natural way of, what you're going to hear is somebody thinking in real time. That's for sure. But all of these things that I'm going to be saying are going to be thoughts that you can be thinking as well, because what we're trying to do is we're trying to find our own voice. わかるかな？なんか自分の声って日本語で説明しても意味わかるかなって、日本語で話しても英語で話してもね、上から読んでも下から読んでもね、甲斐先輩は俺って感じですね。違うかね、俺の声を見つけたって感じですね。 第二言語の声。ね。で、君は第二言語の声がまだ見つけてないんじゃない違うか？だから、ズームする自信がないじゃないね。みんなの前で話すのがね。So, I think basically what this all comes down to is this feels kind of like a challenge, like a tournament, like a game show. And now the question is, who's going to be brave enough to come on here and talk? Now, I do have kohai that are brave enough to come on here and talk. And yeah, you get nervous when you do it. But look, this is why I have the system in place, is because you listen, you mimic, and then you polish. You do it again, you get better, right? And so as I do my version of this conversation, what I got to do is like, well, hey, I got to warm things up for you, right? Because your brain probably, if you'd just been listening to me for the past 15 minutes, I was speaking in Japanese, and every single second that you think in Japanese, you get Japanese. You know what I mean? Like, you listen to Japanese, you mimic Japanese, you get better at Japanese, and guess what? You get more Japanese, right? So you really gotta like get into English and then like start to like mimic the English, and then you got to polish it. You got to get better at it. And that means you got to say the same thing over and over again. Now, the secret to, and this, I talk about this in my 3-step system, 3ステップ学習法の方ね、1000人より1000人というルールがあるんですけれども、it's really important to talk to like 1,000 people because you're going to be saying the same story over and over again. It's just that it's like you're going to say the story to like 1,000 people. So when you start at the first person, like, hey, my name is Hiroshi, and and they walk away, right? Because you're taking too long. Like, it's like, hurry up. Who are you? What do you do? And like, you're too embarrassed or whatever. You make a mistake, right? It's okay. You're gonna explain your story to the next person that you meet, right? Like, oh, I'm Hiroshi. I'm a photographer, and they walk away, right? You're like, oh, okay. So then the next person that you meet, the third person, you're like, hey, I'm Hiroshi, I'm a photographer, and I was wondering if I could take your picture. Oh, wow, you pulled it off, right? Like, you told the story, you were able to deliver the offer, right? And I talk about how to meet foreigners in my little course and stuff like that. But anyway, guys, what you want to do is create like 1,000 chances to succeed. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, if I have 1,000 chances to succeed, how could I go wrong? Right? Like, oh, I messed up today. Oh, it's okay. I'll do it again tomorrow. Right? And so for me, like when I do a live stream like this, it's like, okay, I'm just going to do like 1,000 live streams. Not a problem. I can do that. Like, I have a computer and a camera. It's not a big deal. And if I mess up on this one, I can do the next one. And I remember when nobody would come to my live streams, right? And I remember when like 30 people, 40 people, I remember 50 once came to the live stream. I'm like, oh, this is really great. And so let me explain to you guys how to do things. And so there is a place and a time to like learn how to do something, right? But this is not that time. This is 100%. If we look at the little graph here, this is the time to do one thing and only, one thing as we zoom into that. But yeah, that's it right there. Do you see that? It is time to have a conversation. That is it. There's no more delaying. There's no more excuses in a sense, because it's like, if you're not going to talk to me, then who are you going to talk to? When are you going to practice? Now, if you need to practice by yourself, that's fine, because everybody practices by yourself, right? Like, in fact, this like live stream itself, I've been like practicing and then running into mistakes because of the technical issues, right? Like, if anybody's seen the past ones, it's like, oh, this one's a lot more smooth, right? Because I've been practicing on how to use the software. So anything and everything is all just a matter of practice. And if you give yourself 1,000 chances, you're going to get better. But you have to take the chances. You have to go out and actually do the work, right? And so in the conversation with somebody, that means you got to actually get out and listen to somebody, right? So I kind of was thinking, well, like I said, it's really easy for me to speak English, so I don't worry about this. But it's like, oh, how do I get like a live stream? How do I get people to come over and like, share their stories? And that's a little different, right? Because one, I don't normally do this kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like, this isn't like a daily thing that I do. I am a video maker. I don't know if anybody knows that or not. If you've seen my videos, thank you. I'd like to make better ones, right? But really, all the videos are just like a message to you to like, hey, you want to learn English or what? You know, like, you want to like talk like a Californian? Like, what are you trying to do? You know, like, what's the point? Like, what's going on? Because like Hamasaki Ayumi said, it's like 2025, right? Like, when are we going to do this? And if we're not doing it now, then like when? And with the invention of like computers and the ability to have a conversation anywhere at any time, it's kind of like crazy. You know, Masayuki says hi, Kamimae. I always like translating Japanese names in my head sometimes, you know, because it's like in front of God. That's like a little rough in English, right? So you'd be like God facing or before God or something like that. Anyway, unless it's paper, but I'm assuming it's God. But I could be wrong. Like, I have no idea because kanji is really hard. But anyway, Masayuki, thanks for stopping by. And yeah, I do notice that. And then it's the other thing too, is that like switching gears, and this is why I call it the 4 gears, right? But switching gears is hard if you're not used to it. So you kind of got to like warm up, and the warming up part, not a problem for me. I can just switch. Like today, I didn't speak Japanese all day. However, I did hear somebody walk by and he spoke Japanese, and he was talking about a bunch of Americans, and then he walked away. I couldn't hear anything else. I was like, oh, that's rare. Because like there's not a lot of Japanese people. I keep saying that, right? So I didn't speak Japanese all day, and then I hop onto the live stream, and it's like, whoa, いきなり日本語で話さないといけないんだ。よし、カイ先輩です。どうもお久しぶり。元気みたいなね。大丈夫？まあ日本語でも全然いいんですけれども、だってなんだろうね、喋れるようになってから、まあいつでもどこでも大丈夫ですって感じ。まあ会話の方が楽だよね、俺ね。日本語になっちゃうとね、特にこういう動画とかさ、なんか1時間みたいなプレゼンって感じ。まあできるんだけど、疲れちゃうよね。会話の方が楽って感じですね。実は。でもまあ、こういう風に会話するって、みんなの前で英語で話すのって感じ。まあ、yeah, I mean, it's really a challenge that like, hey, it's 2025. You should speak English by now. I'm just no excuses. Like, if you don't speak English by now, 6 weeks, you can be conversational. You could be. Realistically, it's just up to how fast you can practice, you know what I mean? Like if you practice once a week, you'll go like you'll get better like this, right? Once a week, you'll be like, okay, I'm getting better. But if you practice like every day, you'll get better. You know what I mean? Like everybody's just like, oh, I'll do 15 minutes and then I'm done. And it's like, really? How about 15 hours and then fall asleep like in English? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how else to describe that kind of grind period, but I think that's one of the key things. And I've never really thought about this until now, honestly. But in order to become bilingual, you kind of have to hit like the grind. And the grind is basically a short period of time in your life where you dedicate yourself every day to do one thing, and that is to learn the second language, right? So in your guys' case, it'd be English. My case, it was Japanese. So all morning, all afternoon, all evening, all night, I was pretty much kind of always focused on learning Japanese, using Japanese. And all day, all afternoon, all night, every day, every week, every month, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. I mean, seriously, it's like a grind. But it takes a few weeks, it takes a few months, but somewhere along the way, your mind just flips. I don't know how else to describe it. And I don't think, and this is kind of why I get the way I do with other teachers, right? Because the best teacher for you guys is somebody that's learned a second language, right? Well, yes, but like you also need native input as well. But one of the things with teachers, native English okay, so there's people that teach English, right? Some of those people only speak English. I don't believe they're the best teacher for you. Some of those people are kikoku shijo. I don't believe they're the best teacher for you. Why? Because they learned it as a kid. They learned it like a native speaker. So they don't remember how they learned. They don't remember the process in detail, right? Now, somebody like me who learned a second language at age 18, 19, I remember every step of the way. I remember learning hiragana, furikana, right? And really knowing nothing, like for a year, like I'd maybe studied a little bit, right? But never did I ever speak Japanese just because I studied hiragana, katakana, right? So all of a sudden, I get to Japan and it's just like, dude, I have no idea what's going on. I have no idea what anybody's saying. Like, I really was in over my head and I didn't realize how over my head I was in until I got in, you know what I mean? But I figured it out. And I remember figuring it out. I remember the day I figured it out. I remember the conversation. You know what I mean? Like I remember everything. And so for me to go through that process, you know, I did it when I was an adult. I did it when I was clearly thinking about things like what my goals were, what my dreams were, right? Like when at Kikoku Shijo, when they teach you English, it's like, well, how did you learn English? You're like, well, I went to kindergarten and I learned like a native person, right? And native people don't even remember how they speak English, like how they learned English. So a lot of people don't know what it takes to learn a second language because they don't remember, you know? Like, I hope this all makes sense. But people that learn language as an adult, they remember the process. Now, I think it's kind of obvious, but some people have a better process than others. And that's why the information that your teacher gives you is really important. And this is why I promote my 3-step seminar very, I don't want to say aggressively. It's like, it could be more aggressive. But in my opinion, I think that more people would improve faster if they knew how to do it. But the problem is they don't know how to do it because the English schools and the other teachers don't really teach you the truth about learning the second language, right? So it's really important that you know what you're doing. And if you don't know what you're doing, you really should check out my 3-step video. I used to have the whole thing for my 3-step where like I'd have you log in and I'd have you come to the webinar room, right? And I'd tell you this long story. And, you know, so many people saw that and like I got so much good feedback from it and stuff like that. But I'm now in this kind of mindset that I want to share that lesson with as many people as possible, but, you know, sincerely. like, I really want you guys to rethink how you learn a language. What's the plan? How do you do it? What are the 3 steps, like, because seriously, it's 2025. What are you doing? Like, what are you waiting for? Like, oh, maybe I'll watch another video. Maybe I'll get another book. Maybe I'll, I don't know, like, it's, we call it, you're kicking the can down the line, because the thing that's going to get you the most results in your life is having a conversation. You know what I mean? That's it. So the hyper focus that you need to achieve is basically just, how do I have a conversation every single day? And that's it. And now your goal would literally be to have 1 English conversation a day. How do you do it? Well, you go out to where English people are sitting or standing or walking, and you talk to them. I mean, it's really easy. You just have to do it. But if you don't do it, then you can't improve your English. I don't want to say it's just logic, but it is. And the thing that I need to decouple from your brain, right, is that English, by this point, is not something that you study. It's not math. It's not history. It's not like physics in the sense that, like, English is just something that you do. You do it by thinking it and speaking it and listening to it. How do you think, listen, and speak it? Well, guess what? I don't want to like keep saying the obvious, but you have a conversation. See, the conversation is the only place where you can listen, mimic, and polish, like, in real time, in a sense, you know what I mean? And every time I see like an app for like AI, I just like laugh, because it's like, who wants to talk to a robot? I mean, I want to talk to, okay, so I talk to AI. I type, this is quicker that way, because like I don't need to have a conversation, you know what I mean? I just need the information. Like, that's an interesting side story, by the way, but I'm not going to talk about that right now, talking to AI and stuff, because it's like, oh, you're doing your YouTube channel wrong. I was like, what? And it's like, yeah, you're like, you're putting the link to your site, and I was explaining all this stuff. I was like, oh, that makes sense. Oh my God. So like, I've been talking to AI about stuff, but like, I'm not doing it because I want, 1, a friend, or 2, like, to learn English. You know what I mean? Like, I'm doing it because it's really logical, and it can think way faster than I can. Because I'm like, okay, what if I take like 10 of my videos and I put it to this? And it's like, oh, it can do math really quick, and just like it understands ratios really well. And ratios is one of the most powerful kind of maths that you can learn, I think. But, I digress. Now, do you guys want to talk to AI, or do you want to talk to a human? Like, it baffles me that the human has been learning a language, has been learning languages for thousands of years. And, the computer has been around for like 30, 40 years. But like, the computer in people's hands really haven't been there, I mean, it's only been like maybe 25, 30 years, right? So what's the deal? Do you need a computer in front of you to interact with other humans? And I wonder about this, because as I walk around the city, and here, let's go back to my magic space camper here. Because when I walk around the city, you know what I see? a lot of people on their phones. And so I wonder, it's like, okay, so everybody here like needs a phone in order to function, you know, like what's going on? Like seriously, do you need a phone to have a conversation? And long story short, no, but I don't think a lot of people really understand how important it is to have a conversation away from the phone, you know, away from a computer, like offline, basically. Having conversations offline, let's go back over here. Having conversations offline is like one of the most powerful things that you could probably do for not only your English, but your, 精神病の逆なんだっけなって感じですね。でも本当に、精神バランスね、メンタルごめんね。こういう話、こういう話題、日本語で、できるんだけどね。だって、精神的にね、パソコン使いすぎとダメだよね。なんか散歩しなきゃって感じですね。海の方行かなきゃって感じですね。俺毎日海の方行くんですよ。ね。パソコン使いすぎて。やだ。しょうがないよね。仕事ってこういうもんですね。俺の仕事って、やっぱり動画ですね。撮影、編集。だからパソコン使わないと。ね。しょうがないって感じですね。でも、休みの時パソコン使いたくない。ね。iPhone 見たくないって感じ。もう十分見とるから、iPhone。ね。この iPhone。新しい iPhone 買わないと。But that's not a computer basically only gives you a loop, a feedback loop. And if you had a computer that couldn't connect to all the other computers, you would probably think your computer is very boring. So a computer without the network is almost meaningless in a sense, you know? Because you could discover things or create things, but if you didn't have like a market to share it with, you know, like a network to share it with, then what's the point? So what is the point of computers if it's not for the people on the other side of the computer? But we forget that we're on computers because, well, it looks like a video, or it looks like a phone, or it looks like a, you know what I mean? It looks like a human face, right? So it's like, oh, I'm not on a computer. I'm talking to somebody. But it's like, no. You're on a computer, and this is not reality. Everything that you see on the internet could be possibly a lie, fake, you know? And so that's why I am so doggedly focused on being as honest as I can with you guys about like how to do everything, because there's so much like false information out there. It's kind of like, oh God. But you know, like, what are you going to do? Are you going to sit back and just let people, you know, I swear, I don't want to go down that rabbit hole again, but the world would be a very different place if everybody spoke English. That's for sure. 君はどうすんの? It's been a pleasure to share some thoughts with you, and I appreciate it. But seriously, this isn't about the entertainment of everybody. This is the, I guess, opportunity for you more than anything to actually have a conversation just with like normal, I don't know, normalness, like a normal conversation. I mean, how hard can a normal conversation be? And I know the answer because, I've done a few of these before. And I know that everybody that comes on feels nervous, feels scared, makes mistakes. I know it happens. We all make mistakes, right? Like, what are you going to do? Not make a mistake? It happens. And everybody, kind of forgets about it or forgives you or doesn't care because you don't got to be perfect all the time. But, there is a point where you have to do some training on your own. Okay? So this is why I say, the Zoom lesson is the most powerful thing that you can possibly do other than leaving your house right now. If you could leave your house, go outside, go to the park, run into somebody that speaks English, then do that. You know what I mean? If you can talk to somebody in your hometown, do it. If you can take a hour-long train to go to Tokyo or Osaka, do it. Like, do it often, have some fun. It's like, I see people like in Tokyo, like go to Yoyogi Park and they're like sitting, like maybe drinking, picnic or whatever. And then you do it like next week and then you do it again and then you do it again and you kind of like do the same thing over and over again. And it's like, well, when are you going to do something new? When are you going to talk to somebody new? When are you going to get out of your network and listen to a new story? Listen to somebody else's vantage point. When are you going to share your story with somebody new? Like there's so many things that you could be doing with your life if you just got out there and spoke English. So again, guys, the opportunity to speak is right here, right now. And if you don't want to, because you're afraid, I understand. In that case, I really suggest that you see my 3-step video. Because it will explain everything you need to understand in order to take yourself to the next level. I talk about 3 keys, 3 steps, right? Putting it all together so that every single day you know what to do in order to get better. And if you don't watch the video, then you don't know what to do. And then when somebody asks you to have a conversation, you're still scared, Like, I don't know what to say. But if you watch my 3-step system, I'll tell you exactly what you need to do so you're able to have a conversation. Like there's basically 2 kind of like levels of a student. Yeah? There's the beginner and then there's the conversationalist. The beginner is basically anybody that can't have a conversation, right? Right? 違うか? So if you're a beginner, that's fine. You got to start somewhere. で、初心者だったら、俺の3ステップ学習法、見るべきだよね。But even if you're like 上級者だってもね、会話できる方だってもね、there are a lot of things that you can be doing to like practice your conversational skills. And one of the things is getting out there and talking to as many people as possible. I swear, there's this one guy on Instagram that I saw, and he's like, I'm a Japanese photographer. Can I take your picture? But every single time he says that in Japan, and it's just like, no kidding, dude. Yes, you're a Japanese photographer. We know that. But you say it over and over like we didn't know kind of thing. You got a camera. You're obviously in Japan. You're speaking English with a very thick Japanese accent. You could just say, I'm a photographer, but, the subtlety of the words that we say and how we say them, it's like reading between the lines, and accent is definitely reading between the lines, because once, and this is, again, it's like, do I talk about this too much? Accent is like the invisible badge that everybody judges each other by, and we don't talk about it enough because we get so caught up like, oh, Japanese, oh, American. And like, I noticed in the comments, like when I talk about Kikoku Shijo, people are just like, well, you can't, what are you saying? And what I'm saying is Kikoku Shijo are a different category of humans that we don't understand and can't really understand because our brains just don't operate like that. So putting them aside, all of us normal people that have to learn a second language with our own effort, we need to do it in a way that works. And with all the people in 2025 that are still struggling, and I know you're struggling because I see videos, I talk to people. Well, when I was in Japan last year, I still, I would, it was a funny day too, because I ran into another Japanese YouTuber, and then I was talking to him, and he had made a video. He was like, he wanted to make a video about like, I don't know, Japan or something. So he was looking for foreigners to film or whatever. And he ran into a Turkish guy and a Ukrainian girl, and he was talking to them or whatever. And I walked over and I was, hey guys, like, what's going on? Like, cause I don't know, they just had this like vibe going on. And long story short, I saw somebody studying English, and like she was just going through all the words, like one of those books. And I'm like, yeah. Oh, and I asked her like if she could help with the headline or whatever. And yeah, I even remember the headline. It was something random gaikokujin. Anyway, so I was like, hey, does this make sense? Is this like is this normal? Because I don't know. I don't speak Japanese. She said, yeah, it sounds fine. Cool. I'm like, cool, you help me. Can I help you? And she's like, oh, well, pronunciation. I said, 発音か。Well, だってこれスタバの中だからね。これ動画じゃなくてね。これ現実で誰かと喋ってるね。会話してるよね。でもまあ俺のアドバイスは、俺の動画ご覧くださいって感じですね。だって教科書100年読んでもね、全く意味ないよ。ごめんって感じ。So, when I was in Kyoto or Tokyo ね、all the people studying, like every single day you'll see somebody studying English, right? And it's like guaranteed they're reading some like word, like tangocho book or whatever. Tangocho じゃないよね。Like just a list of like 500 TOEIC words or something like that, like something like that. And it's just like, you're never going to get anywhere. Oh my gosh, you're wasting your time. Like, I don't know. Like, I think, and this is what it was like for me after I graduated from college. I was like, oh God, what do I do now? Maybe I'll stay in school because I'm used to studying, like I know what to do. Like, it was just kind of like a reality is a little scary. I don't know what I'm doing yet, but I do know that school is secure. Getting educated is like a good thing. So I thought, right? But, I dropped out of grad school because I figured that I needed to see things with my own eyes, and experience reality, get a job. And so, yeah, that's a whole other long story of like reality meaning a lot more than anything that you can possibly learn online. So the gap might be too big. This is what I'm coming to realize. And it's kind of scary if you think about it because, これ邪魔してるか。なんだろうね。英語で喋りたいという目標がある。みんなあるじゃん。みんな英語勉強してるじゃんって感じね。でも、こうやって英語の勉強しませんか？英語の、レッスン時が英語で会話しませんかってみんなにね、誘うと、みんな緊張するじゃんって感じですね。緊張しない人もいるんですけれども、なんかほとんどの後輩が緊張してるって感じですね。で、時間もあれだしね。朝早いしね。まだ12時になってないしね。日曜日だし、休みだしね。なんだろうね。時間がずれてるからしょうがないかな。じゃあ、そろそろ日本行こうかなって感じですね。そうしたらなんかみんなと絶対喋れると思うよね。外出るとなんかもう、海先輩だみたいなね。すぐね、バレちゃうって感じ。時間もあれだし、ライブストリームってそれだしね、恥ずかしくなっちゃうしね。勇気ある人って珍しいかなって感じだね。だから、YouTuber みたいな人がいるよね。勇気があるんだけど、I don't want to dig too deep on that one. I'll leave that one alone. Because it's like, I got confidence. What am I going to do with it? And it's like, well, then get up in front of a camera and do something. It's like, cool, I did something. Now what? And a lot of people don't have like a real purpose behind their confidence, I guess. That's one way to put it. But now, as I'm a little older, I've got the purpose behind all of this. And it makes it a little more easier for me to get out here and do things. But the public offering of my time so that you guys can have somebody to talk to, I think is a really valuable offering, you know? But if you don't want to do it in front of other people, 他の知らない人の前でね、英語で喋りたくなかったらね、じゃあプライベートはどうですかね。それだったら、まず俺の3ステップ学習法をご覧くださいね。だって、人の前で話すのが嫌だったらね、じゃあ海先輩とプライベートでなんかお話ししませんか？それでちょっとコースとかついてるしね、俺の3ステップ学習法って、何の勉強になるかって、読んでくださいって感じですけれども、本当にね、もう自分のアクセント、ね、なんか外国人にアプローチするときなんて言えばいいですか？それで何を勉強するべきかって、その会話によるんじゃない？現実で使える英語の単語帳なんか作ってくださいって感じですね。本当にもう順番でやれば、君はね、もうすぐ喋れるようになる。会話できるようになるよね。ちゃんとやればね。正しくやればね。順番にやればね。本当にもうすごい、俺の3ステップ学習法って、2018年になんか初めての3ステップ学習法を作ったんですけれども、それは生放送でなんか説明するって感じですね。でも長かったのね。長いし、みたいなね。でもしょうがないよね。だって、英語まだできないのみたいなね。じゃあ説明しましょう。話聞いてないじゃん。モノマネしてないじゃん。アクセントに関して何にも勉強してないじゃんってか、ちょっとストレートすぎるよね。 だから、なんだろう、もうちょっと優しい言い方を探して、みたいな、どうも、みたいな、なんだろうね、この説明のやり方も結構時間かかってきたんですけれども、もし君が上達したかったらね、英語で喋れるようになりたかったらね、俺の3ステップ学習法ご覧くださいね。もう本当にもう音の発音とか、なんかこれしかないよ。勉強しないといけないのはね。これだけ勉強すると、もうすぐアメリカ人に聞こえるよ。発音って、good, and then ow ね。それだけ。で、R と L でもう当たり前じゃん。まあ T も面白いから T も勉強してください。それでまあ J とかね、what you think とかね。で、省略パターンの勉強ですね。So what are you gonna do?So what are you listening to? What are you gonna do?What you do? カッコ系ね。What you do?What do you do?Like where do you work? Right?What do you wanna do? What do you gotta go? なんか省略パターンね。いろいろあるんですけれども、これをマスターすると、まあ発音も入れて、もうなんだろうね。アメリカ人に聞こえる。会話なんかできそうみたいな感じがするよね。で、最後にこういう基本のところをマスターしてから、なんだろうね、上級者のレベルの勉強ね、こちらになるんですけれども、そんな邪魔ですか？自己紹介とかさ、なんかまあビジネスイングリッシュとかさ、なんだろうね、まあロマンスに関していろいろ英語で、会話できるようになるんだよね。でも基本的に発音と省略パターン勉強しないと全く意味なくないって感じね。だからまあ本当に順番にしてこういう風に勉強すると最後に誰かと自由に英語で会話して上達します。違うか。はい。だからよかったらね、俺の3ステップ学習法を、ご覧ください。どうですか？俺の、説明。ね。3ステップ学習法。まあ、まず、accent。まあ、教科書より、accent。ね。それで、1000人より1000人。ね。それで、教科書より、単語帳ですね。そう、先生より、さあ、先生、なんだっけ？アクセント。まあ、文字より、文法より、アクセントだよね。はいはい。1000人より1000人ね。で、教科書より、もう毎日自分で作ってる単語帳ですね。この3つね、毎日やればね、もう、それしかないって感じですね。上達の道って。まあ、よかったら、リンクがあるんですけれどもね、その3ステップ学習法ね、YouTube の動画だから、すぐ見れるね。そっから、海先輩とレッスンしたかったらね、俺のサイトに来てくださいね。そこに、あれがあるんですけれども、グループ、プライベートあと2人で、グループは5人かな。なんか、なんだろうね、人が多すぎるとね、あれなっちゃうからね、なんか、なんだろう。まあ5人でトップで、マックスでね、よろしくお願いしますね。もしね、こういう YouTube で話すのが怖かったらね、まあ怖いよ。でも、よく考えると、そんなに人がいないからね。そんな恥ずかしくないよ。そんなに見てないじゃん。ね。でもこうやって、まあパブリックでやりたかったもんね。なんてかというと、勉強になるから。ね。2人だけの会話だったら、まあ2人だけの時間になっちゃうんですけれども、なんだろうね。こうやってフリートークって感じで、まあじゃあ生放送でやりましょうね。YouTube で、パブリックでやりましょうよっていう、まあちょっと気持ちですね。で、別に今、君はこのズーム、なんだろう。まだ心の準備ができてなかったら、じゃあ俺の3ステップ学習法ご覧くださいって感じですね。だってさ、ズームのリンククリックするだけでこう参加できるよって感じ。It's like, seriously, the final challenge, I think. Because so many people are like, oh, I gotta like study. And I gotta like study. It's like, no, you just gotta talk. And if you can't talk, then you gotta study. But it's like, what have you been doing for the past 5 years, 10 years, 30 years? Have you been talking to anybody? You know? And if you haven't been talking to anybody, then have you been studying? You know, I like puzzles, but one of the puzzles that you have to graduate from is learning English. It's not like math, you know, where math is like, ooh, now that I know basic math, now I can do algebra. Now that I know algebra, I can do trigonometry. Now that I know trigonometry, I can make an algorithm. Now that I can make an algorithm, I can, you know what I mean? Like math can keep going and going and going and going until you get to a black hole. Literally. 英語の勉強ってそんな時間かかんないよ。ね。そんなかかんないよ。正しく勉強するともう喋れるようになるのはまあ本当もう6週間 3ヶ月くらいじゃない？ But you know, like I said, you gotta have the you gotta have the balls basically just to talk. And that's it. Like you got balls, and if you don't, then you need to see the lesson. But if you got balls, then just have a conversation, you know? And sometimes you got to take a kick in the balls to learn something too, you know? Like I remember I was riding my bike when I was a kid and I didn't go up the curb. I came in at a bad angle and my tire got caught and I fell over and I learned I will never do that again. I need to go at the right angle, like a 90-degree angle on the curb. I can't just go like at a 1-degree angle onto the curb. You know what I mean? So anyway, I learned a lesson because I fell. And sometimes in a conversation, you're going to learn your lesson in front of a lot of people. And that's reality. You know, this is the life that we live. And if you want to have more fun, then you got to go through these painful moments. If you don't want to have more fun, then you just watch another video. And then another one. 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 And then another video. And not just any video. You're just going to watch another English video, another English lesson video. I would highly recommend getting out, talking to real people in real time, in reality. And the sooner you do it, the sooner you're going to get better. And for all of those people that can't get out into reality and have a conversation with somebody, I understand, totally get it. I don't have a lot of opportunities to speak Japanese. So for anybody that does feel that they're too embarrassed to have a conversation on Zoom in front of everybody, you're watching, but you don't want to have a conversation, right? So either you already speak English, and if you already speak English, you really shouldn't be here. Like one guy, he was like, hey, can I watch your live stream? And I was like, no. Like, you already speak English. Like, why would you want to watch my live stream? Well, you know, like, yeah, no, but this is for people that, you know, need it in a sense. You know, this live stream really is for people like you. That's it. It's not for like the millions of people. I hope you guys really understand that. Like my other videos, like if I concentrate and focus, I can get like 1 million views on my next video. That's a lot. And it's good. But making a video will never become a conversation with you guys unless I meet you in reality or we have something here like right now on Zoom. So again, like doing private lessons is not a problem. Guys, like, I can do a private lesson if you want. Please come by. I'll be happy to, you know. But this is why doing the live stream like this in front of everybody, I think, is also good too, because it really just shows like how scary it is to learn a second language. I get it. It's totally scary. You're going to make a mistake. What if you don't understand? What if other people are watching, right? It's like, well, yeah, what if, right? Dragon Hopeful says, おしようさん、おしようさん、おしようさん。どういうこと？おはよう？おはようさん？おしようさん？ Anyway, good morning. Thanks for coming by. And that's the other thing that kind of bums me out, is that like the time that is most efficient for like getting your guys' daytime linked up with my daytime is now, but it's only like Sunday morning. I'd rather be doing this evening time where more of you would be able to participate. So anyway, that is going to be changing soon for sure. Hopefully I'll be able to do the live stream more in the evening, like on a maybe Sunday evening, I think, because like Friday and Saturday everybody wants to go party, right? Or stay home and watch a movie, I don't know. But then Sunday, pretty much everybody stays home on Sunday, you know? So I think Sunday would be a good day for me to do a live stream, but Sunday evening, you know? And then it'll be just like totally cash and whatnot. And like, man, even then, like, it'd be cool because I could set up like guitars and stuff like that, and like we could all play music if we do a live stream. But you know, like, I digress. Nani-san? Wa-san? Wa 光違うか。光じゃないよね。わ光じゃないよね。漢字難しいですね。Oh my gosh. Anyway, so the offer still stands ね。The Zoom のあれね。Zoom. Oh, that's what I was going to say. If this was in Japan, and this was like 7 o'clock or 6 o'clock in Japan, no, even like 5 o'clock, I could do this like from 5 o'clock to 8 o'clock. No problem. I have no problem sitting around with you guys for like an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. You'd be surprised how long it takes to edit a video. So, you know, it's like, I'm going to work one way or the other. I'm going to make a video. I'm going to do a live stream, whatever. It's actually a lot quicker to teach you guys everything if we have like direct communication. But also at the same time, it's a lot easier for one of my videos to go to 1 million people than the live stream. So it's kind of like, okay, what should I do? How should I spend my time? Should I make another video? Should I do another live stream? But every hour that I make a live stream is basically an hour that I'm not making a video. You know what I mean? So it's a weird balance that I got to figure out, but hopefully you guys will help me out with that balance as well. So Dragon Hopeful, I felt like you are a teacher and more than that. And my Japanese brain comes up with this word. I don't know. It's your brain, not mine. But I appreciate the thinking, because like more than a teacher, like I don't see. That's the thing. I don't consider myself a teacher, really, because I feel like I'm a student myself. That's why I'm Kai Senpai. and I don't know everything. Like, I know that, like, for example, I can be in a movie because I've been in 3 movies. You know, like, I know that I can be on TV because I've been in dozens of TV commercials and a few TV shows. I can do a lot of different things, but I never felt like a teacher. I just felt like somebody that's like figured stuff out, and I just haven't seen anything that would contradict what I found out, you know, because I've done a lot of studying about how to learn a second language, and I'm like, yeah, no, everything I was saying sounds right, literally. So, but if I am a teacher for you, to you, then I appreciate you coming by. I thank you for everything, listening and whatnot. But yeah, I just don't see myself as a teacher, you know, like there's so many things that I want to do. And it's like, let's get out of the classroom, you know, like let's go take a walk or go travel the world, you know, like let's like use English in reality, not in these like, oh gosh, like that was the biggest pain, I guess, when I was teaching English in Japan before YouTube, right? The office, like the business office professional kind of like atmosphere was so fake. Everything was so fake. Just, you know, couldn't hang with that, you know, because it's like, I don't mind connecting with everybody and talking to people and then explaining everything that I know, you know, like I remember there was one, kind of like Kikoku Shijo, and, we're doing this lesson. I'm like, why am I giving you a lesson? You speak English, you know? Like, well, my parents made me. Like, well, but you speak English, so let's just talk, you know? Hey, what's up? Like, you know, what do you, like, what do you think about being in Japan? You know, just trying to be normal, you know? Because, like, that's what she needed more than anything, not another lesson, you know? So crazy. So, I feel like a teacher comes with the American way. I don't know. What's the American way? My way of thinking? Maybe. That is another thing. And I don't know. And maybe we can talk about that because I would definitely say my thinking is not typical for typical Americans. So you can't, I mean, maybe I am, maybe I'm not. I don't know. American is a complicated word. It's almost like it really doesn't mean anything these days. I mean, there's a traditional sense of what the word American means, but 2025, the American way is not, it's hard to tell what you mean. Because, like, there's one side of America, then there's another side of America, right? So, and which side am I on? Well, truth is, and that's kind of like also why it was kind of interesting when I lived in Hollywood. You guys know who I am. You guys know what I do. Yeah, real talk versus fake talk. Yeah. So, well, that's a American thing, right? Right. まあ、日本語で考えると、建前みたいな、本音みたいな。So, yeah, there's definitely more directness in English, I think. And I would say honesty. But then that's why it's like, I don't know what you're talking about because like I know plenty of これ英語で言っちゃダメかなでもなんかもう騙されてるアメリカ人が多いからね正直に。So that's a whole other subject ね。But as far as what you're saying, yeah, real talk versus fake talk, 100%. Yeah, I would probably be like, まあそういう意味でアメリカ人ですね、俺。まあ、それでもカリフォルニア人だから、ちょっとね、違いあるから、まあ、気をつけてくださいね。カリフォルニアでもリアルトークするから。ね。But、そうだね、ハリウッドに住んでた時、なんだろうね、まあ、日本語で YouTube やってるから、まあ、日本社会に関して、まあ、俺、YouTuber です、みたいな、自己紹介全然しても、ああ、してる、見たことある、とか、ね。でも、アメリカで自己紹介すると、YouTube やってますみたいな、日本語で YouTube やってますみたいなね。で、ハリウッドでそうやっていろんな人と出会って、みたいな。あ、そうなんだ、みたいな。なんだろう、コラボできるところがあんまりなくて、なんだろうって感じ。じゃあ、ここじゃなくてもいいんじゃないかなと思って、ハリウッドに住んでみたんだけど、意味なくないと思って。でもまあ、ハリウッドで2人の友達できて、で、2人もアメリカ人じゃなかったのね。生まれは海外なのね。白人ではないからね。まあ、この2人ね。だから、ハリウッドで出会って、友達になって、なんだろう、俺、まあ、結局、アメリカ人より白人だよ。だよね。これ、言っていいよね。アメリカになっちゃうと、白人か黒人か、ね、メキシコ人かアジア人かみたいなね、そういう社会だから、でも、なんかその2人、アメリカ人じゃない友達が、俺に、もう、白人じゃないでしょ。君は。恐れ入ります。みたいな。ありがとうございます。みたいな。ありがとう。本当にもう、なんだろうね。自分を見てくれて、すごい嬉しい。ね。何人かって関係ないって感じ。人間として友達みたいな。そうやって言われて、まあ、嬉しいね。はい。仕事場で、楽に話せるのはアメリカ？はい。トップレベルの会話。なんかね、ローマ字で書くのがやめてって感じ。ごめん。でも本当、ローマ字、あんまり読まないから、何の話？だから日本語だったら、まあ、日本語にしてみたいなね。カタカナでも、ひらがなでも漢字でも全然大丈夫ですね。なんだろう、それ面白いよね。逆になんか漢字が読めないでしょみたいな。だからひらがな、振り仮名書いてくれる人もいるしね。もうたまになんか漢字読めない時あるからね。まあ優しいだよね。でも、ローマ字はちょっと NG っていうか読みづらい。ごめん。本当に正直にね、ストレートで言ってるんですよ。ひらがなもカタカナも全然問題ありませんね。漢字、ほとんどの日常的な漢字読めるよね。書けないけど読めるよね。で、振り仮名なくても、まあ、ほとんどの漢字読めると思うよね。で、何かわかんない漢字があればね、辞書検索するだけでも大丈夫ですね。はい。だから、ローマ字はって本当にもうローマ字あんまり見ないから慣れてない。読めない。なんだろうって感じですね。本当もう、ね、意味でも、楽にとか、まあ、ほんまにね、楽に、今分かってきたって感じですね。今だって楽にって漢字で見えたからね、頭の中で。楽に、そっか、そういう楽天とか、はい、面白いよね、日本語って。インプットって、どっちかに言うと、聞く方が 大丈夫って感じですね。読むと、だってローマ字、ひらがな、カタカナ、漢字、振り仮名もありますよね、みたいなね。ほう。でも普通に会話するだけでも全然いいんだけど、トップレベルの会話。コード通知してるしね。まあじゃあトップレベル。ほら。普通こんなことに残して読んでもらえないので、そうなんだ。読めれて困ってますね。まあ、ほら、日本語で言われたら日本語で考えるって感じですね。日本語で聞かれたら日本語で返事するって感じですね。で英語を読むと、って感じで、だからローマ字読むと、これ日本語か英語かどっちやって感じになっちゃうんですね。はい、すみません。で、普通って感じじゃないと、って。普通こんなコメントを残して読んでもらえないので、まあ、英語で会話したいからね。So, if you want to have the conversation in English, then you got to have the conversation in English, right? So, yeah, I get it. But then that's the whole point, is that pushing yourself to speak English is the point. But if you're going to push me to understand Japanese, I'm up for the challenge. It's just not necessary because this is an English lesson, right? So for me, it's fun. Don't get me wrong, Dragon Hopeful. I enjoy practicing Japanese. There's nothing wrong with it. And I actually enjoy it like a hobby. I do it for free. You know what I mean? Seriously, like I've been speaking Japanese since I've been 19 because it's kind of fun, you know? So I don't have any problem with learning more, getting into a conversation that's hard and difficult to understand. That's a challenge for me and I like it. It's great. No problem. But this isn't about me, and it never was. And that's kind of also another thing about doing live streams is like, or anything on YouTube. Because I've seen other YouTubers, like I saw one, I'm just not going to go into it, but like she went to Hollywood and it's like, I'm in Hollywood. And like, it's like, I was living in Hollywood and I made like 1 video, 2 videos, you know, walking around Hollywood, but like, to me, it was never about me, if that makes any sense. So you get into this kind of like, oh, I need to make a video. Well, what am I going to make a video on? And then you look at the other YouTubers and they're like, oh, they're making videos about their trip, you know, or whatever. Maybe I'll do that. But that's just not the point, you know? Like the point is not to impress you guys with, oh, Kai Senpai lives in Hollywood, or Kai Senpai is traveling the world, or Kai Senpai has a green screen. Like, that's not the point. None of this is about me. Kai Senpai じゃなくて、君だよね。You are the only reason that I'm doing this. It's a long story. I don't have to explain everything. But when I was living in Tokyo, I wanted to be more like an actor, and I was going to auditions and doing modeling. I was very happy doing that. It just wasn't enough because my character was so crazy. I couldn't get casting for like normal positions, you know, because all the normal positions were like tourist, businessman, just boring shit. So my character was fun. It just didn't get a lot of screen time because it was just too crazy. But, you know, the work that I did was a lot of fun, and I have no regrets whatsoever because it was a blast. You know, up for the challenge like Vegas. There you go. Yeah. Well, there you go. That's the whole point, right? Is that have you ever been to Vegas? because the experience of life, and it's kind of like one of those things where it's like you haven't been to Las Vegas, so you gotta try Vegas, because the culture, again, it's all different. And California is literally like California, and then you go to Vegas and it's like, oh, this is a different culture, this is a different people, it's a different environment, very air conditioned environment. But yeah, like Vegas. Interesting. Very interesting. So Dragon Hopeful, I appreciate the comments, and I think that this is exactly the kind of thing that I'm talking about, is that the warming up is really important for everybody, because it's like, oh, I gotta speak English. It's like, yep, go ahead. But everybody's like, wait, ちょっと待ってみたいなね。で、まあ英語で話す勇気がなかったらいいんだけど、いつになるか、いつ卒業すんの？そういう、なんだろうね、重い話考えたことあるのって感じですね。今じゃなかったらじゃあ何って感じですね。何を勉強してたのって感じですね。だからまあ本当に申し訳ないんですけれども、こうライブストリームね、毎週やりますね。よろしく。で、今誰も見てないかもわかんない。まあ見てる人いるけど、なんか参加してくれる人って、まあやっぱりこの0から1のギャップが一番ひどいのね。でもなんだろうね、まあトックレディオみたいな感じね。俺は絶対できるね。ただなんだろうね、これ 100% にするか動画に戻るかって感じですね。で、動画の方がなんだろう、才能あるっていうかやり方わかるから、そっちの方に集中したいのね。わかるかな？だって作り方わかるから。で、じゃあ次のとで、めんどくさいのね。それが一番マイナスポイントだよね。本当になんだろう、大変なの。バズる動画を作るのはね。でもできる。でも2週間ぐらいかかっちゃうんですね。だからその動画を作るか、それかなんか毎日ライブストリームするか、どっちがいいって感じで、毎日ライブストリームやれば絶対なんだろうね、人が乗ってくれると思うよね。今は10人見てるけど、今度は20人とか30人とか40人ね。で、どんどんね、参加してくれる人もなんか出てくると思うんですけれどもね。これ繰り返してやればね。でもなんだろうね、それでって感じですね。意味あるって分かってるんやけどね。こうやって直接こうやって会話するのがね、もうメリットある。でもそんな毎日できないよね。もう動画作んないといけないから、俺の時間が大切ですから。だからまあ今でしょう。はい。So all that to say that I really do appreciate your guys' time, and if you can learn anything at all by listening to me, then that would be super great, and I'm like super thankful. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, there's no need, because the thing is with YouTube, if you just click the video, it's gonna recommend my next video to you. So just clicking, thank you. You already helped me a lot just for the channel, you know what I mean? But hopefully in your life, I was able to say something nice, say something that made you think, and hopefully you're going to take action, because at the end of the day, and maybe I can switch over here to the final kind of like lesson, but like at the end of the day,
We go over here to our little thing here. This is it. This is all you got to do. 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 Conversation. So you listen, you mimic, and you polish. That's it. Every single day. That's all you got to do. So all I got to do is just listen for you guys, and then you guys got to do the polishing, right? So, doing the live stream, it's not hard for me. It's easy. It's pretty easy for me. It's the challenge is you guys. And this is why we're here, to give you the challenge. So hopefully you take up the challenge. Dragon Hopeful says, ライブの英語はリアルですね。勉強になる気がします。Yeah, and I'm glad you said that because it's true. Everything else that you watch is like not real. It's like presentation English. It's like 教育英語弁ね。So my distinct focus right now is to, in real time, give you actual fucking English. You know what I mean? Like not a lesson. And I know it's crazy for a lot of people because they're just like, oh my God, it sounds so different. It sounds so fast. It sounds like you're like mumbling or whatever. I'm like, well, yeah, but this is how we talk. Like everybody understands what I'm saying if you speak English. The fact that you don't understand is not your fault. It's 教育制度の問題ですね。原因が教育制度ですね。まあ正直に言うとね。ストレートで言うとね。そう、あれはしょうがないよね。教育制度のせいだからさ。みんな困ってるよね。今こうやって普通の英語聞き取れないって感じですね。なんだろうね。I'm telling you guys, like 日本語習ったとき、これはペンです。ありがとうございます。日本では恐れ入りますって言うべきです。みたいな、なんか、綺麗な、丁寧語みたいなね。で、そういう日本語ですますみたいな勉強してて、はい、わかりました。みたいなね、練習してて、でも、舞鶴のクラスメートの日本語全然聞き取れなくて、ですますみたいなリズムがなかったんやん。なあ。リアルか、フェイクか、みたいなね。で、日本語ではまあフェイクっていう建前の時があるから、英語ではあんまりない。現実では。フェイクな喋り方は動画だけですね。YouTube, news, anything on a video is like, in today's video, we're going to be talking なんか声が変わるじゃん。あれと同じじゃない？なんかアニメの日本語と日常的な日本語、なんかちょっとずれてるじゃない？同じではないよね。あ、そう。みたいな。よしみたいな。元気すぎる。なんだろう。俺は、日本語できるか？なんか、アニメの声に聞こえるか？僕は違う。アニメの声やりたいね。俺正直にね、ゲームやってんのね、プレイステーションで、なんかちょっと変わってるゲームやりたかったのね。なんかいつも通りのフォートナイトじゃなくて、もうちょっと深い話を、まあ読みたかったっていうかね。で、ディスコ・エリジアムという、ゲームなんですけれども、その英語の声がやばい。なんか、俺的な、低いだけじゃない。低いで、なんだろう、その、みたいなテクスチャーがあるよね。すごいかっこいいのね。だから彼の話を聞くと、なんだろうね、すごい英語って感じですね。すごい、なんだろう、経験って感じですね。で、RPG だから、もう話だけじゃん。もう読みながら聞いてるって感じ。すごい面白いのね。でもそれはまあパフォーマンスですね。パフォーマンスはもう普通に日常的な英語違うからね。そうですね。だからこのライブではまあ 100% リアルな喋り方をちょっとシェアしたいと思うんですね。So, I hope, but まあ、逆にそうやって話すとみんな聞き取れないこういう英語聞いたことない。だから俺の3ステップ学習法聞いてくださいね。その教育英語弁よりなんか俺使っとる省略パターンみたいなねアクセントを学ぶべきだったと思うんですね。だからよかったらね俺の3ステップ、学習法、ご覧ください。どっかあると思うよね。リンクあれを見て、勉強になってください。はい。じゃあこれで、終了になると思います。1時間以上1時間40分も喋ってるからでもう日本の日曜日だからもう1時だよね。Koji says, I understand your English 100%. Well, Koji, you are the coolest guy in all of the world right now. Thank you so much for saying that. And it shouldn't be a problem. I hope it's not a problem. And the more that I talk like this, the better. But I hope that more people are able to understand this. You know what I mean? Like the goal, like I said, is not that to have a lesson today. That's not the goal. The goal is just to have a normal conversation. And the more people that can have a normal conversation, the more everybody wins. You know, it's like a win-win situation for everybody. P says, thank you so much. Oh yeah, because I ignored school English. Yeah, there you go. And see, that's what I'm saying. Like literally, like that's what俺の3ステップ学習法同じこと言うからね。教育英語弁よりもうアクセント、アメリカ英語を学びましょう。で、コイジさんが俺のアメリカ英語に慣れてるということですね。で、learning English, like to me, is kind of like going into a hot springs. It's not a matter of efforts. You know, like you don't fight your way into a hot spring. You just like put your foot in and you 慣れるね。英語を慣れるって感じですね。で、なんだろう足の一本一本って言うんだっけこれ慣れてから、じゃあもう一本で、腰みたいなね。なんか慣れるって感じですね。本当動力より、だって温泉、動力して入るかそれからなんか落ち着いて慣れるって感じですね。So P says, see you later. Yeah, thank you so much. Anyway, だからこうやって英語で話して for like an hour, 2 hours, right? You're just gonna get used to it. That's it. That's all you got to do. And that's why I said I can do this for like 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours. It's not a problem because English and Japanese is 100% subconscious for me, unconscious for me. Like you just tell me to go and I'll go. But who cares about me? It's all about you. So it's a Sunday afternoon. I hope you guys go outside, go to the park, go to a shrine, go to Disneyland, go to anywhere. Go to Shibuya Scramble, go to Shimokitazawa, go to Osaka, go to Kyoto. I swear to God, there's somebody out there somewhere that speaks English. Just go up to them, say what's up, how you doing, talk to them, share your story, hear their story. If you want to talk more about how to talk to people, I got lessons in the thing. If you just click the link, I think you see the link thing up there somewhere. And then, have a beautiful day. Share some story with somebody. You know what I mean? Like, just share a story. What are you up to? What are you thinking about? And have a good day. Enjoy telling a story, right? Like, I haven't been doing the live stream as much as I wanted to do because I've been working on a story. And my story is a little more complicated because I'm a YouTuber. I got a lot of views, 10,000 views a day, right? And it's like 10,000 views a day. That's a lot. Like, what's going on? Like, what, how can I, harness this energy in a more efficient way? Like, how can I connect with more people in a way that matters, right? And so I've really been thinking about everything. And seriously, watch my video. Like, I put so much effort into that video because I really do think that it explains a lot. But once you learn something, once you understand something, then what do? Well, peace and love. That's it. you have a conversation, and you keep going. You have a conversation, you keep going. You have a conversation, you keep going. So I wish you guys the best of luck today. It's not about luck. It's more about a little effort, but なんか慣れるっていう気持ちを覚えてくださいね。Just have a conversation, get used to it. All right. So anyway, Dragon Hopeful, thank you. P, thank you. And then Koji, thank you for stopping by. Next time, maybe there's going to be somebody that actually wants to join on the Zoom. And then I think that's when all the fun is going to happen. You know what I mean? Because then it becomes like a wrestling match and everybody will get excited, kind of like a tournament, you know, kind of like a MMA or something like that. But it's kind of like the point. I do see conversation as some sort of like martial art in a sense, where there is a discipline, there's skill, and there's kind of like a competition, you know what I mean? Where it's a good conversation is like a good ping pong match with a back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. I don't like doing one-way monologues like this. Like if you ever catch me monologuing in reality, it once or twice, I don't like doing it, but hey, this is the internet. It's a different place. It's all about monologues. And that's why I'm trying to do something different, because having your conversation is totally how everybody learns. You know what I mean? Like imagine coming onto the live stream and 1 million people listen to your English. Wouldn't that be cool? So anyway, yeah, see, I'm starting to hear a little more, right? You just get used to it. That's all. You just get used to it. You just get used to it. You got to get used to it. You get used to it. You get used to it. That's it. And you just keep getting used to it. And then if you're like walking to work tomorrow and you're like, oh, ego wasirita. No, just remember, get used to it. Listen to something else. This is a daily, I don't want to say routine, and I don't want to say a way of life. It just is, like I can't look at the world without English. You know what I mean? 同じように、日本語できるから、日本語できない甲斐先輩想像できない。ね。バイリンガルになるって、こういうもんですね。なんか世界観が開くって感じですね。So, anyway, it takes a little time, but you'll get used to it. You want to know why? I'll be here next week. And in the meantime, have a good day, have a good week, get out there, listen to a lot of things, but at the end of the day, do this, listen, mimic, polish, and have a conversation. You're going to get better, and you're going to get better. You're going to get used to it. You're going to get used to it. Then you're going to feel normal. You're going to feel normal. Then you're going to have a conversation. Then you have a conversation. You're going to have an experience, and then you're going to listen. You're going to mimic. You're going to polish. Then you're going to have another conversation. Then you're going to listen, mimic, polish, and have another conversation. Then you're going to meet 3 people. You're going to meet 4 people. You're going to meet 10 people. You're going to meet 20 people. Imagine the day that you meet 50 people. Then that 100th day comes along. You're like, man, I'm meeting people every single day, and I'm using English every single day. This is amazing. All because I listen, mimic, polish, and had a conversation. There's nothing else that you need to study, because all the things that you're going to be studying are coming from the mouth of the people that you're actually talking to in reality. And then anytime that you don't understand what's going on, you just make a little note in your little, I swear, I collect all of my thoughts right here in this little book. So you would have the same little book and you just make a little note and you're like, what does that mean? I'm curious. And then you would study by yourself late at night or before you go to bed, whenever. You just keep a note, you do your little thing with the flashcards, and you just remember it. You go over and over in your head, you polish it, and you just kind of say it to yourself. Now, is this too much? Or is this your life? Is this how you do it? This is how I do it, but, are you satisfied with your level of English? Yes or no? No? じゃあこういう風にやりましょうかね。ちょっと世界観をちょっと変えましょうかって感じですね。はい。じゃあ新しい集合、意識に定義をかける。Yeah, it's like, oh, I'm now aware. I now know about this new goal. I got to talk to somebody. I got to have a conversation. I got to talk to somebody. That's it. That's it. It's not your score. It's not how many words. It's not your accent. It's talking to somebody. That's the goal. But by talking to somebody, you work on your accent. You learn new words. You know what I mean? So chicken or the egg, right? And in this case, definitely chicken. Okay, guys, take it easy. It was fun. Have a good night. Have a good day. It's night for me. It's time to eat dinner. So I will see you soon. I hope you enjoyed my new video, the Hamasaki video. I think that was really good. If you like that format, let me know. I'm thinking about doing more videos with that kind of style. That's a whole other story. Maybe I'll talk about it another time. I already said goodbye. So in the meantime, have a good day. Have a good week. And I'm out of here. Bye-bye, guys. Peace. Oh, wait. I'll give a final goodbye from the magic space camper. So take it easy, guys. Peace out, and talk to you soon. Bye.